Now what? Are you on the verge of coming into the receptive mode on something? That would be the most beneficial conversation that we could have right now. You've been wanting it, you haven't been in the receptive mode. As a result of today, you think you might be. Want to talk about it?
We kind of tiptoed around this a little bit, and in a couple of events ago where I was, you were talking about the collective and all of the talent, I would say, that's in the collective for those
and
who
wisdom and knowing.
Yes, and like Einstein and Gandhi and Steve Jobs and Elvis. I don't know if you said Elvis, but you know. And I'm an artist, and I'm also just not that. I'm like interested in so many things that I'm so passionate about, and it's so fun for me to discover and play around in these things.
And take beyond where they were before.
Yes, and then you said something else a minute ago about someone inspiring the someone who's now flowing into those of us who have all these questions.
In the same way that this day has all woven together in a wonderful unfolding. It's like everything is understood by those of us who are in the vortex, and when you're in the receptive mode, then you get in on the understanding.
And I just love that, because like one of the things I love is having access to, and that's like so that's what I want access to. And then the other thing that you said,
and what grants you the access? What grants you vibrational access?
Well, one thing that I discovered a week ago was about being excited about being excited.
But here's the question that we want to ask you. If being in the receptive mode is the thing that you're reaching for, what sets the vibration of your receiver? Your broadcaster.
Yeah.
So as you're broadcasting about what you want, just like you were just doing, about how happy you are, how in love with life you are, how excited you are, that kind of broadcasting puts you in the receiving mode. And there is nothing more than that to all of this.
Awesome. So what I just got that I hadn't heard before is I'm either broadcasting or receiving. So now when I am broadcasting,
that's when you're practicing the vibration of what you're receiving. You get what you think about, you get what you talk about, and what you're thinking about and what you're talking about usually are what you're feeling, and what you're feeling is about what your vibration is. And so instead of caring about what others are broadcasting, you just broadcast in accordance with what you mean, with who you are, with how you want this world to be. And as you broadcast like that, then you have set your receptive mode, and your inner being is right up to speed. Can you feel how anything that you could ever dream about this world, the best that you can say it, your inner being's already got that all figured out. The best you can say it and mean it. So as you say it and mean it and flow it and practice it and master it and set that as your broadcasting and therefore your receptive mode, then now what are you in the receptive mode for? All of those masters that have gone before, who are right out here on the leading edge, ready to assist you in taking your creativity beyond what you could do on your own. No one does anything on their own. If it were not for the receptive mode, if you were not an extension of source energy, you would not exist at all. You could not exist in your physicality without being an extension of source energy. It's time to accept it and to broadcast in a way that hooks you up with it, and then just get on with the fun.
So they all, I sometimes say you guys, like, hey you guys. So they all are like
interested?
Looking for, like, wanting to communicate through us to us.
Not one bit worried about you. Just flowing,
for fun.
Knowing that sooner or later you're going to find the lid to the powder to the lid. Knowing that eventually, some way, somehow, and projecting that knowing so much that all kinds of things that you couldn't make up happen in order to lead you to some place that you needed to be in that receptive mode. Think about the difference between this approach to life and goal setting.
Backwards.
You all really got that, didn't you?
Yeah, that's backwards.
So you've already set your goals in sense. You put them one little piece of a goal at a time into the vortex, and law of attraction mixed them all together and added emphasis to them and compounded them and shined a spotlight on them and holds them up there for you to see. Never getting discouraged that you're not seeing it right now or right now or right now or right now or right now, because in the next moment you might see. And if not that, something that leads to that, or if not something that leads to that, something that leads to that. And if not that, something that leads to that. Always happy about wherever you are in this never-ending unfolding.
So fun.
It is fun. It is fun. That's the fun, isn't it? That's the fun. That's the joy of life. That's happy. That's happy.
And so all of those that I'm talking about, like Gandhi and Einstein and Elvis and whomever, they also are being flowed to. And so now are they still being flowed to and flowing to us? Is there like a backup to a backup to a backup?
Backup to a 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 backup. And all that is present with you right here and now, supporting you, loving you, and flowing to you. Take your barricade down and let it in. One little piece at a time, one little piece at a time. So that's why we said to our friend a minute ago, the best thing that you could ever say is, I want to be in the receptive mode. Am I in the receptive mode? Am I in the receptive mode? Esther was sitting there asking the question, am I in the receptive mode? When the dolphins said, yes. Am I in the receptive mode? Am I in the receptive mode? Don't you think it's interesting? A sea that big, that her inner being knew right where to help her focus in order to see that she was in the receptive mode? And those treasures, those nuggets, those lottery winnings, those things that you all are wanting are all around, treasures all around you, and your inner being knowing where every one of them are, leading you, leading you, leading you, leading you, leading you. But you got to believe in your own worthiness. You've got to broadcast your sense of goodness before you will let yourself stand in the place of worthiness that will let you receive. Oh, did you put that together?
Yeah. Wow.
So can you be mad at somebody and be worthy? Can you be mad at yourself and be worthy? Can you be worried about stuff and be worthy? You've got to broadcast that joyful stuff as you do.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Awesome.
Yes, indeed.